tusimame pamoja kulinda uhuru na umoja wetu. Enyi Bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote tuimbe pamoja, kuenzi shikamano hatima yetu. Tujitoe wenyewe kupambana pamoja, uhuru na umoja vitawale. Enyi Bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima. Tuungane sote na tujibidishe kutoa kilicho bora kwa Afrika, chimbuko la wanadamu, chemchemi ya utamaduni, tumaini letu wakati wa mafarakano. Enyi Bwana na binti wa Afrika, mwili wa jua, mwili wa anga, tuifanye Afrika mti wa uzima.
It is Sierra Leone we are talking about today, a country founded by the British, first of all as a project to end slavery, a project to intercept slavery on the coast, but also a project to extend their influence in West Africa. Today, we talk about Sierra Leone, a country under trouble, a country that has been under one incident after another, one coup after another, one dictator after another, but a country with so much gold and promise. We're talking about Sierra Leone today, and my name is Katom Kaksan. Of course, in the studio is Dennis Bongole. You are watching us live here at Humanist TV Africa television, where we always come and inform you, be able to educate where we can, and of course, learn from you. Today, Humanist TV Africa talks about Sierra Leone, and we bring you these facts. First, with the figures and facts about Sierra Leone. That is the map. The map of Sierra Leone. We are going to go right into this right away, full screen. Sierra Leone on the map. Now, Sierra Leone is a country in West Africa. It is basically a tropical country in West Africa on the Atlantic coast between Guinea and Liberia. Apart from the hilly Freetown area and the white sand dunes and beaches, Sierra Leone is mainly made up swampy coastal plains and plateau rising to uplands in the northeast. Population of Sierra Leone is about 8.9 million people, not even 9 million people. It is about 8 million people. Let us look at the statistics right there. From what I have from the World Bank 2022, they are telling you that population of Sierra Leone is 8,600,000 people. Population growth is 2.1 annually, and of course, age dependence is high. Almost everyone is depending on the working class. That is 72%. Urban population is a bit high also at 43%. Infant mortality rate is quite high. Now, this is worrying. You can imagine to lose 78 children per 1,000 live birth. Sierra Leone is terrible. It's a disaster. 78 children die per 1,000 live birth. This is terrible in Sierra Leone. One of the countries with the highest death rate of children is Sierra Leone. This is the death trap here. And of course, we talk about life expectancy in Sierra Leone is only 60 years. Let us look at other statistics about this country. In terms of age distribution, Sierra Leone has a majority of the people between the ages of 15 to 64. That is about 57% between 15 to 64. And of course, the young ones, 0 to 14 years, are 38%. And those above 65 years are only 3% in Sierra Leone. We talk about Sierra Leone, look at other figures. Let's look at other facts and figures. Sierra Leone electricity, it has little electricity production, that is 0.21 billion kilowatts, and of course that is too little. But of course they're also consuming not much at 0.13 billion, and of course they don't export and they don't import. That is okay. In terms of electricity, they have some bit of renewable energy right there in Sierra Leone. Airports are 8. Cellular phones are 6. Almost everyone in Sierra Leone has a phone anyway. Almost, because if you are 8.9 million people and 6 million people have cell phones, that is a bit okay. Internet users, about 708,000, that is quite low. Telephones, office telephones, only 17,000, very, very dismal right there. That is Sierra Leone at a glance. Now we look at location. I told you Sierra Leone is in Western Africa, bordering the North Atlantic Ocean between Guinea and Liberia. Sierra Leone has a total land area of 71,740 square kilometers. A small country, of course. Land area is only 71,620 square kilometers. Water area is 120 square kilometers. The coastline is big. The coastline is big in Sierra Leone. I told you why the British took it over. It was partly because of the coastline. It has 402 kilometers. The climate is tropical, hot, humid, summer, rainy season between May and December. It is a winter dry season between December, and of course the terrain is basically coastal terrain, and of course a coastal belt of mangrove swamps. Remember, Sierra Leone is full of swamps. Swampy country, wooded hill country, upland plateau, mountains in the east. Lowest point is the Atlantic Ocean at 0. And of course, highest point is the Loma Mansa Bintman at 1,948 meters there. So sources, of course, as usual, it is the World Bank that gives us the sources. Yes. Let us talk about minerals in Sierra Leone. Give me a minute there. I'm going to give you minerals in Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone is a rich country, very rich country. I always say, what's wrong with Africa? You have all these resources. Look at Sierra Leone and the resources. Sierra Leone has diamonds, has rattan, has bauxite, has gold, has iron, and has limonite. But also Sierra Leone has over 60 other minerals, precious minerals like iron ore, coltan, tantalite, chromite, platinum, limonite, chromite, zircon, iron ore, gold, bauxite, diamonds, and others. These are all the minerals in Sierra Leone. Earth minerals you don't even find elsewhere in Africa. You will find them in a small country called Sierra Leone, yet it's among the poorest countries in the world. I'll repeat, Sierra Leone is amongst the poorest countries in the world with all these mineral resources. And which companies are there mining these resources? They come from Europe and they come from parts of Asia. They are in Sierra Leone taking over these minerals, but the people in Sierra Leone are very poor. Only 8.9 million people, too poor. Let us look at other facts, Dennis. Let us continue to look at other facts. These are the minerals of Sierra Leone. I'm telling you where they are. Freetown, remember, is the major town here. The country is bordering Guinea, Liberia, and of course the ocean, as you can see it here. I'm showing the minerals again, but also remind you that this country became the British Crown. The British Crown founded in 1789. When was Sierra Leone founded? The year was 1789. Why? Britain had abolished slavery. Now they wanted to have a border post. They wanted to control slavery in Africa, and Sierra Leone was a good point. Okay, so it was called a province of freedom. And who came there first? There were about 400 blacks and 60 white colonists. this Sierra Leone on the 15th, that is 1787. There. Now, these are the minerals of Sierra Leone, of course, and the people right there. I'm showing you where the deal is in Sierra Leone. Which minerals? I told you all those minerals. Remember them? The diamonds, the gold, and then there's other metals, about 60 of them, different rare metals, including coltan, zinc, iron ore. All of them are found in Sierra Leone. Why did the English find Sierra Leone? Of course, I should tell you that before they came there were other people that have been settled in Sierra Leone for 2,500 years. So let them not tell you that the country was free or the place was free. No, there were other people they found there. Now look at this map here. I'm showing something about Sierra Leone. I'm going to read these regions here, and of course the people will know the implication of this. The Kono, the Kenema, Koru, Potoloko. These are some of the areas right there. The Bombali, the Cambia, and the other areas. Of course, the Kenema, talked about the Pujehuni, Bonte, and the Moyamba areas and people in these areas. Of course, I told you Sierra Leone is blessed with the North Atlantic Ocean, not far away from the coast. It makes it a very, very good country for people to stay there and, of course, live. Sierra Leone has some of the best wildlife and, of course, some of the best beaches in the world. We think that Sierra Leone was founded by the English government and also founded by these people who wanted to make a living right there, but also to stop slavery continuing. You call this group the abolitionist group, which includes Thomas Clarkson, William Wilberforce, and Granville Sharp. They established the colony of Sierra Leone, and of course, we see that about 411 London blacks entered Sierra Leone with about 16 Europeans, of which Caucasians entered Sierra Leone. The year was 1787. We see there are many animals in Sierra Leone. And of course, remember that the groups that went into Sierra Leone were from Nova Scotia, 1792, and Jamaica, 1800. These are the groups which ended up going to Sierra Leone. And of course, the British were the ones sponsoring these groups to go there. And of course, Britain was trying to stop slavery in the world. And Sierra Leone had been seen as a gateway to slavery. So they wanted to create a border post there in Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone has had lots of insurgencies. They got their independence, which I call the Kazai independence, and then they were ruled by the monarchy. You can imagine, between 27th April 1961 to March 20th, 1967, there was a crisis. You see those guys with guns? Young boys and girls with guns. Young boys and girls with guns. They've been fighting since 1961. Sierra Leone hasn't got that much peace. Sierra Leone hasn't got that much peace. Even after independence in 1970s, they were always fighting. I will tell you, there were 17 years of turmoil in Sierra Leone. And as I speak to them, still, people are still being killed on the streets of Sierra Leone. The country has been under a one-party system in 1978 and continues to be under trouble. Remember, they used to have what they called the Revolutionary United Front, RAF. There was a guerrilla movement called RAF, United Revolutionary United Front, RAF, a guerrilla unit which began in 1991 and fought a civil war for over 17 years. They were fighting, and over 70,000 people were killed, and roughly 2.6 million people were displaced in Sierra Leone because of the RAF, a rebel group, the Revolutionary United Front there was fighting. And of course, we see that in 2002, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission was formed in July 2002, and a special court was created, and some bit of peace came back to Sierra Leone, but still, Sierra Leone has been a country under trouble. Remember, Sierra Leone had their first president, a man we note to have been called the first president of Sierra Leone was known for his involvement in, of course, lots of deals to the extent that had to be disposed, had to be taken off the grid, taken off power. And of course, we saw other leaders coming in between. We saw the youngest man to lead Sierra Leone, of course, and we saw others. Of course, the first president of Sierra Leone was a man known was the we can say between 1961 to 1971, Sierra Leone was headed by the Queen of England. You can imagine, between 1961 to 1971, Sierra Leone was headed by the Queen of England, but they said it was independent. You can imagine. And Sierra Leone, Elizabeth II was the head there. Then after that, it was of course under the United Kingdom and Commonwealth realms. And of course, after that, Sierra Leone in 1971 ceremoniously got their president known as Siaka Stevens. Siaka Stevens entered the office in 1971 and who was removed in 1985. Siaka Stevens effectively became the first president of Sierra Leone after the Queen, ruling them from 1961 to 71, 10 years of a Queen ruling Sierra Leone. You can see what's happening in Sierra Leone as I give you a bit of history. In terms of timeline, Sierra Leone was a monarch between 1961 and 1971. It became a republic. The first republic of Sierra Leone was between 1971 to 1992. Then there was a military rule between 1992 to 1996. Remember, the youngest president of Sierra Leone, the man who ruled them for a few years, the youngest president of Sierra Leone, a man who was called Valentin Esgrabo Marvin Strasser. The youngest president of Sierra Leone was a man called Valentin Esgrabo Marvin Strasser. Born on 26th of April 1967, is a former military man who served as head of state between 1992 to 1996. For 4 years, this young man reigned then, and he became the world's youngest head of state in 1992. Sierra Leone had the world's youngest head of state in 1992. The name was Valentin Esgrabo Marvin Strasser. This guy ruled then after seizing power on his birthday. He was only 25 years when Strasser took power. Only 25 years on his birthday, the guy took power and ruled then for those years between 1992 to 1996. He was removed. Then we saw a second republic of Sierra Leone coming in 1996 to 1997. For only 1 year, there was a second republic. Then there was a military coup again. Military rule came back in 1997 to 1998. Koroma and others, they are taking place. Then 1998, we saw a third republic coming in to present. 1998 to present, there had been a third republic. Today, they have this man called Mado. He became a president in 2018, 4th April 2018. The president of Sierra Leone today, this man, Abio Mado Julius. A man who is always abroad with his wife enjoying, and his wife telling people that her husband is the master of coups. The wife of this man is known for making such reckless statements. Yes, the first family then, they go to Europe, they go to France, they go to UK and make statements. They go in the US and make statements that, oh, they are the masters of coups. Now, this is Sierra Leone. Julius Maada Woni Bio, born 12th May 1964, is a Sierra Leone politician and current president of Sierra Leone since April 2014. 4th April 2014. That is Sierra Leone in a glance, a country under trouble, one of the poorest countries in the world, one of the highly indebted poor countries in the world. Yet this country is so rich. The country is so rich with minerals, with few people. Some people say when you have few people in a country, you'll do better. The question I always ask them is Sierra Leone doing better? Is Burundi doing better? They have small population. Is Togo doing better? Why are they not doing better when they have small populations? So the issue is not about populations. It goes back to leadership. Now look at Mado here. Maada Julius Woni Bai or Bio. A man who is always abroad enjoying life, and his wife making reckless statements that they can rule then another time, that Her husband is the master of coups. He knows the army. He knows how to fight. Now, people in Sierra Leone have been on the streets. You have seen the photos right there. They are protesting. There are riots. Recently, they broke a prison, and the prisoners are outside there with guns. Prisoners went out of the main prison and they went and got guns. Now, almost everyone is under fear in Sierra Leone. So many guns out there, there are prisoners out there, and with a bad president, who is always not willing to negotiate, not willing to create peace, and shooting people on the streets of Sierra Leone. You can see the images of people being shot and running for their lives in Sierra Leone. It's not a safe country. Beautiful country, beautiful environment, beautiful sand dunes, beautiful beaches, but the country is not safe. I will not recommend Sierra Leone for now. It's a beautiful country, but not safe. Bloodshed on the streets of Sierra Leone is quite high. It is Massive Africa. We'll give you facts about countries you don't know about. Today, it was Sierra Leone. Tomorrow, it will be another country. Keep watching Human City Africa for this and more. See you in the next one.